Test 1 2 3 test. Sorry guys, I had a bit of a misfire there to start with. So hopefully someone jumps back in my space and lets me know if my audio is working this time. I had a bit of an issue with my audio, so hopefully someone's able to jump in, let me know if this thing's actually working. And I'm not getting rugged by my audio equipment. Otherwise, I'm gonna might have to cancel the space, which is a bit disappointing. So hopefully someone's going to jump back in this space, and that way we'll know what's going on. Send a few messages, let people know that I'm back. I'm trying again. Like I said, it's complete amateur hour, so sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. That's technology for you. All right. Hopefully everyone can hear me now. So can I get a thumbs up, thumbs down, anything? I just want to know if I'm coming through nice and clear, because I was having audio issues before. Hey, okay, we got thumbs up. Thumbs up is good. I like thumbs up. Okay, sorry about that, guys. We had a bit of a misfire on the first attempt, but now we're back at it. We're back in business. So I'm going to try that again. And we've got D in the house. We got Bobby Sats. Thanks for coming back, mate. I appreciate that. Now you guys can hear me. Now the question is, can I hear you? How are you, D? Okay. Are you speaking, D? Are you saying anything? I need to know if my audio is working.
Sorry, it takes a while for me to get connected, when you request to speak. So I don't know if you said anything in between.
Oh no, that's cool. I just want to know if my audio is coming through nice and clear, because I was having audio issues before.
Oh yeah, you sound perfect.
Excellent, good. Like I said, just wanted to apologize for everyone. I had a bit of a misfire on the first go, so we had to close the space and reopen it. But we're back. We're back in business. So
back in action.
Now that everyone's here, we can try this again. So let's kick this off with a bit of intro music. So let's try this again. All right, g'day everybody. So Osman Clerk 63 here, and this is VeVe Weekends, brought to you by the VeVe Collective. And we are up to episode 4, and this is take 2 because my equipment was trying to rug me on the first attempt. So we're back at it again. And thank you for coming back, and thank you for joining me. And how is everyone this weekend? Hope everyone's having an amazing weekend. Let me just I'm going to send Dia a co-host invite here, because I need a co-host. But yeah, how is everybody?
Been good, man. We literally just finished breakfast. It's about 9:45 here in the morning, our time. Just had breakfast, and I was like, oh shoot, the space is opening up, so I had to jump in real quick.
And nice. Well, thank you for taking the time to join me. So we've got Hinano in the house as well. Casual, thanks for jumping in, mate. Bobby Sats, thank you so much for letting me know that my audio was crap, and that I had to redo the space. And thank you for coming back. I really appreciate it. But yeah, it's Sunday night here in Bristol in the United Kingdom. I'm just sat here with my trusty Spider-Man glass, topped up with some Pepsi Max, and just here to chill, have a good time, and just go talk about some VeVe, some digital collectibles. And lot's been going on in the space lately. We've had hacks, we've had rug pulls, we've had all sorts of drama happening. So we've got a lot to talk about. So I'm going to take a sip and say cheers to the weekend, everyone.
Cheers. Happy Aloha Sunday.
Hey, happy Sunday. Oh, God, that's cold.
Crunching on some ice there.
Sorry, I didn't come through too loud.
You know what is so weird? Like, and this is kind of like really random. I don't like hearing people chewing their food like, really hard, but I love the sound when they're crunching like on chips. Oh yeah,
like on some popcorn or nuts or something like that.
Yeah, but like when you're just like chewing food, it's like no, stop. Random fun fact about D.
That's it. Considering every time I'm always listening in space, I can always hear you munching on something. Actually, we should make it fun. We should make it like a fun segment. It's like, what you eating, D?
Yeah.
What's been happening, D? How's your weekend been so far?
So far it's been good. I worked at the market yesterday on Saturday. That was pretty cool. And I got home and just did nothing.
Excellent.
And then this morning, okay, I'm so weird. I set my alarm. I have like different alarms, and Hinano probably hates me for it. That I set them and they go on, and I shut them off, and then I wait for the next half an hour, and then another one goes off. So I did that today for the drop that was supposed to happen.
Ooh, yeah. We'll
we'll
get into that.
I completely missed it. Like by let's see, I woke up again at it was like 2 minutes till, and I'm like, oh no, I didn't get in, and then I found out that it wasn't even happening.
So it sounds like you and a lot of other people were having trouble getting into it as well. There was like waitlist problems like all across the board. Like nobody was getting into the waitlist. Very few. I'm not sure if anyone actually got into the waitlist at the end of the day.
I don't know, because I think they announced it it's going to be tomorrow, right?
Yeah, they've rescheduled it for the 21st, which directly coincides with the Loki comic that's dropping as well. So they're oh, here we go. They're dropping the Loki comic at this is 4 p.m. my time, and then they're dropping the Lion King like an hour after the Loki drop.
Oh, so it's 6.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that's about 6 your time.
Yeah. Okay.
So interesting.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Another thing I did yesterday was I went. I totally spaced on this one. I was on Doctor Strange's first live stream.
Oh yeah, I saw. Yeah, looked like I had a really good time.
Yeah, that was cool. It was kind of like we knew he was gonna do it, just not the time. But it worked out. He did it in the afternoon, my time, so I was able to go up there and just kind of just chill with him, which was pretty cool.
I know he invited me as well, but unfortunately I wasn't able to make it because of the time difference.
Yeah, I think that was like you were sleeping, right? Like early in the morning.
Yeah, I think it was like he ended up doing it like somewhere like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning my time or something like that. And I mean I just come back home from a curry night with we went to a curry night with for some friend's house with my wife, and I was just like wiped out.
Ooh, curry. That sounds so good.
Curry?
Yeah, I love curry. Like Indian food, Thai food. Like you know me, I love food in general. But yeah, curry is good stuff. So did they make it, or you had to like bring your own and make it together, or you guys went like to a
No,
restaurant?
we were lazy and just ordered like it delivered to our house.
Okay. Well, that's still cool.
But no, it was good. It was an enjoyable night. So just sort of chilled, had some curry. I went for a chicken jalfrezi with some onion bhajis and some rice, and this other weird little side dish thing I'd never tried before, but it looked interesting, so I thought, "The hell with it, I'll try with it." And
what?
Yeah, go on.
Well, what exactly is that? Like the foods you were just saying? Because I know like the basics.
Oh, okay.
I don't know like all the Indian words.
Well,
what exactly?
Chicken jalfrezi is basically it's like a hot chicken dish with all the the usual herbs and spices and stuff that you find like your Indian foods. It's predominantly onion and I'm not sure because where I'm from we would call peppers capsicums, or we call them capsicums peppers. I'm not sure, but what would you call this is kind of like a hard one now, because would you call them peppers in Hawaii?
Yeah, like the bell
Yeah, bell
peppers.
pepper. That's the one.
Is that
Yeah.
like
See, because
bell pepper.
because where I'm from in Australia, they're called capsicums. So I'm not sure like what they're called around the world. So basically, it's just predominantly onion, tomatoes, and peppers, bell peppers.
Okay.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, that sounds good.
But yeah, but we got a few more listeners in the house. Your SleepynComics, thanks for jumping in, mate. Always a pleasure. So Mpax, good to see you, mate. Cam, thanks for joining me. So we're just talking curries. So hopefully we got some curry lovers out there. We're going to start off with some food for a change. But yeah, but that was a highlight of my weekend. Other than that, I did we also did the Cryptoys unboxing with you and Hinano as well. That was a lot of fun doing the live streaming.
Oh yeah, that was cool too. Wait, when did I'm getting all my days mixed up? Was that Friday?
That was Friday, yeah. So that would have been Saturday morning my time.
Oh right.
And
yeah, that
was good fun. I do enjoy doing the unboxings. I mean, I don't own any Cryptoys, but I always enjoy taking part in it.
Yeah, you don't own any.
Not only yet, yeah, but I'm working on it. And what else have I done? Oh, another thing I've also done is I've also, in case anyone doesn't know, so I've just recently started doing my own little side project on the VeVe Collective's YouTube channel called Relax and Read, where we actually have a crack at actually reading some of the comics on VeVe. And I attempted to do a live reading of Uncanny X-Men number 221, which is the first appearance of Mr. Sinister. And it's been fun. It's been very experimental. Basically, I've been having to go basically doing like my own little audible version of the comic book.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because I haven't seen anyone doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
that's good. That's your own little pocket.
Yeah, well, I thought I'd give it a go. Like, I just thought it'd be something fun to do because, like myself, like I buy like all these comic books, but I very rarely find the time to actually read any of them. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna have a try reading some of these comic books, and maybe I can like live stream it and see if anybody wants to join me in the experience. And then it's just sort of like basically starting to morph into like an audible version of the comic book, but it's still a work in progress. It still needs a lot of ironing out. Like one of the biggest problems I'm having at the moment is that I'm trying to magnify the text on the screen, because the reader on the app only lets you blow it up so far. So I'm experimenting with different like sort of magnifying glass applications, and I found a really good one that sort of blows the screen up the whole screen, but it doesn't stream it on the second screen, if you know what I mean. So that's
like,
yes,
like it shows just by panel or.
So like on StreamYard when you go to script to share your second screen. So you'll be zooming it in on your main screen, and it looks good on your end. But if you're like recording it and then go back and look at the recording, it just doesn't do anything.
Oh.
So that's the current hurdle I'm trying to overcome at the moment. But I've got a couple of ideas, and I reckon if I sink enough brain power into it, I can probably overcome it.
Yeah. If anyone's listening that has any ideas, let Osmond know.
Absolutely. If you can save me some brain power, I'd be much appreciated.
Like that,
saving brain power. But other than that, just a nice casual weekend. So I spent some time with the family. So I took my son shopping. Took him to the park today because the weather here in England's been a little on and off. But so it's been not a bad weekend so far. But let's go over to VeVe, shall we? Let's do a bit of market watch. Let's go shopping. So have you picked up anything in the market lately, D? You got any drops? What's been happening on your end?
Man, I've lost all my brain power. Let's see. I can't remember. Let me go look. Actually, this is terrible. I know I picked up something and I can't remember what it was. I have really bad memory, guys.
Well,
Hinano.
I'll kick it off then. The last thing I just recently bought was Ultimate Fantastic 4 number 21, I think it was. Yeah, Ultimate Fantastic 4 number 21, the ultra rare, which is the first appearance of the Marvel Zombies. because
Oh.
yeah, I actually kind of FOMO'd into it because of a post that Chris Severs put on there about Wolverine comic.
Oh yeah, I
that
saw
one?
that comic.
Yeah,
Sick.
yeah, that is like a really nice little art piece, and I made like a little quick thing on Canva, like sort of like to display my collection of Marvel Zombies, because I got the complete Marvel Zombies run. And then like he brought up like the Ultimate Fantastic Four, like being like the FA Marvel Zombies. I was like, oh, I forgot about that one. So I went back and looked in the market, and I saw one at a good price, at a good mint, and I just went, oh yeah, no, I have to have it. Boom, done. I probably can't afford it, but I'm like, I have to have it. Whatever. I'll sort it out next payday.
Yeah. Oh, can you pin it up for everyone to see?
I can try.
A pin up.
So I'm still working up the whole pin up thing, but let's give it a go. Let's try and pin something here. Hang on, share via Oh, actually, hang on. If I do that, I know, but even if I can't pin it, if you go back and look at my posts, you'll see it there somewhere.
Yeah. I gotta really learn how to.
I know, and like normally, Dino's the man when it comes to pinning stuff in the in the chats.
I know. I gotta go get some lessons from him.
I know. I've been watching too many YouTube videos about how to try to get magnifying glasses to work and audio, second audio sources to work in the backgrounds, and I completely forgot about how to pin things.
Okay, I'll go watch the YouTube videos on how to pin things on
That's
X.
it. Help me out here.
Well, we got a few more people.
We do. Where's my space?
Shankster, VeVe Investments, and
Evolve. Yeah, thanks for joining me, guys. Thanks for taking the time to listen in. Like I said, this is WebV Weekends, episode 4. So just a nice chilled weekend space. So unfortunately, I'm not joined by Dino, who unfortunately can't finds it difficult to make Sundays due to life commitments, which is totally understandable. So, and this is also geared more towards if people are unable to make WebV Wednesdays, there's also WebV Weekends, which is what this is for, and it's sort of geared more to like for people on my side of the pond to sort of tune in, because when we do WebV Wednesdays, it's like kind of like a ridiculous o'clock in the morning over here. So most of the English people are still sleeping, but I'm up. I'm running spaces, and oh, there we go. So I'm just looking on my Twitter profile here or my X profile, and it says, "Oh, verified only. You must be verified to highlight posts on your profile. Get verified." Yeah, thanks, Elon.
But you gotta be verified to what?
Well, apparently to view my own posts. Oh, no, there we go. It's just having a funny 10 seconds.
Oh, that's so weird. Did you block yourself?
I don't know. X does some funny things. Like ever since Uncle Elon took over, like X does some funny things.
Yeah.
But anyway, highlights, replays.
Oh.
So I'm still trying to work out how to pin things.
No, yeah. Okay, so I found out what I last picked up, which was the disco dancing Captain America, the Uncanny Avengers.
The Saturday Night Fever version.
Yeah, that one.
This is good.
I landed.
This is good now. SleepynComics is in the house, because we were talking about this on WebV Wednesdays and saying that what was it called? I can't remember now. Let me try and find it. That the Uncanny Avengers X-Men. Uncanny Avengers #1. The uncommon of that cover with Captain America on the front, with his finger in the air saying like Avengers Assemble. It actually looks like it's a scene out of Saturday Night Fever. It looks like he's on the dance floor. So he's got Bee Gees playing in the background, staying alive. Got the hip thrust action going on. He's having a great time.
The hip
Now that is actually a really nice cover. I should probably grab one too. Actually, I wonder what's the price on them at the moment?
It is floor price is 2 gems and 57 frags.
2 gems and 57 frags. There you go. Very affordable. And in case anyone's tuning in for the first time, so that's our denomination for small amounts of gems now. It's frags. So we came up with that one. I think it was on the last WebV Wednesdays episode, because we posed a question. So you've got gems in the app, but what do you call smaller amounts? Because you've got dollars and cents, you've got pounds and pence. It's like you've got gems and nothing. So we came up with frags. And I like it. I think it's catchy.
I like it too. Short for fragments.
That's right. And not and doesn't, and it's not like, you know, for something out of like an Unreal Tournament or something like, you know, frags headshot.
Someone was saying that it was from, was it like a game or a movie?
Yeah, like basically like those like old, like, you know, like tournament type first person shooters, like Unreal Tournament or Quake Arena or one of those ones.
Okay, I was like, I wasn't too familiar with that. Fantastic.
But yeah. Also, as well, if anyone else wants to come up and say hi or contribute to the conversation or wants to jump up on stage, please do so. It's a safe space. Everyone's welcome. Always love to hear other people's points of view and opinions. Or even if you just want to come up and say hi, so that's all good as well. But if you want to keep listening in the background, that's all good as well.
Oh, I also picked up the Fantastic Four number 5.
Oh yeah, Fantastic number 5. Which one was that?
Oops, man, hold on, my phone's not working properly.
Technical issues.
I'm not really.
Hey, Sleep wants to come up.
Oh, nice.
Hey, Sleepin', how are you, mate?
Hey, Sleepin'.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Good. Thanks for the space, and thanks for having me up. I'm doing well. Thank you.
That's right. Well, while you're here, I have a question for you. So, how do you make those awesome comic book covers I keep seeing you post on X?
It's it's mainly an app called PhotoLeap, but I used to kind of use a variety of different tools, but it's mainly PhotoLeap now. So yeah, it's just kind of an app you download, and I think you have to pay for it. I don't know how. I mean, it's a subscription thing,
right?
And then it just gives you all these tools, so you kind of, you know, fool around with it. And I'm not really an expert with it, but I like it. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, because some of those covers, like, you know, you've been coming out with and posting, is just like unbelievable. I'm just like, why does VeVe not have anything like this? It's like these are wicked. They would just fly off the shelves.
Yeah, it's really fun. I mean, I really enjoy it. I'm not, like I said, I'm still learning. And I think there's some other tools I want to fool around with. And so I did a couple of them just for fun, and I was really happy how they turned out, and I feel like I'm getting better at it.
Yeah, no, definitely, mate. Yeah, but how's your weekend been so far? Like, you know, have you been picking up anything in the market lately?
What did I get? I'm always buying crap in there, you know. That's just me. Yeah. Let me look. Oh, I know what I got, and you know, I've been waiting to get it forever. And I don't know why I waited so long, but I finally did, and that is I got the 2 posters, the Welcome to San Diego poster and the Welcome to New York poster, the Marvel posters.
Oh no!
And
no.
They're just spectacular.
I like the New York. Yeah.
I'm really excited to put those up in my VeVeverse house. I think if you blow them up and make them as big as a wall, they'd look great.
Yeah, I do have a little something for that.
The thing about it is that they weren't that expensive. You know, like I think one was like, you know, 18 gems, and another one was, I can't remember, but not that expensive. They were a little spendy, I think, when they came out. So from a spending perspective, the reason why I didn't buy them, I always liked them, is that it's just, you know, what would cause them to go up. I don't think really anything would cause them to go up. So I thought they were just going to keep going down and down and down. And it's just a matter of at what price point do I want to grab them? And so I don't know why this weekend I made that decision, but I did.
And that's what. Well, I mean, if you like them and you think they're going to look good in your VeVe house, and yeah, why not? I mean, I did exactly the same thing with my aliens posters.
Oh yeah, those. Are you an aliens, big aliens guy?
Yes, sir. So Aliens and Predator are my two number one monster franchises.
Have you read the Aliens versus comics versus Predator comics?
I have, but it's been a long time since I read any of them. I do have a couple of Predator comics in a box upstairs that I got as gifts, and a few from back in my collecting days before I came here to England. But no, I haven't had a chance to read much of anything lately. Having two kids keep me on my feet all the time, barely getting any time to myself.
Yeah, those are fun ones. Those might be fun ones for you from a physical perspective to hunt down. I mean, you can always buy them off. Well, maybe not there, but here you can always buy them off of eBay. That's never an issue.
Oh yeah.
But maybe at a convention, or I know obviously it's tough because I know you have kids, but eventually it might take you years to hunt them down. But those are ones I wanted to hunt down. Predator 1 and Aliens 1, the original ones. It took me a long time to get them, but I got them. And
nice.
I would only say that the Predator 1 there's multiple prints. So first print, second print, third print, and you literally cannot tell the difference between them unless you open it up and look at the first page. So if you go and buy it somewhere, or even if you get it online and you're paying any type of good amount of money for it, make sure you have them take a picture or open it up and look at the first page, because you will not know what print it is.
Oh, there you go. That's good tip. That's alpha right there. No, nice one.
Once again, stupid comic knowledge that's in my head. I don't even know why I even remembered that.
Yeah, no, that's good to know, man. I wouldn't have had a clue. So,
but they're cool. The Predator one is really cool. Well, actually, the Aliens one is too, but the Predator one, I think I'll send you a picture of mine. I have of the Predator one. You'd like it. And they're not, please. Either of them are not that expensive. I mean, you can get them once you just buy them raw. You don't need to get them. I mean, a 9. I don't know how much a 9.8 is. They might be expensive, but just get a raw one. It's fun. This is fun to have them. I have the full first run of Aliens, and I think I have a bunch of the first Predators. But the other one that you could go and find is the very first Aliens versus Predator run, which is not that expensive, and it's a fun read, and it's one you could try and hunt down as well.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll definitely have to try and look it up. But I know one I'm definitely looking forward to is the Predator versus Wolverine comic that's coming out in September, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know much about it. I have the they did a bunch of covers, when Marvel, or I guess it'd be Disney, bought Aliens and Predator about a year or two ago, maybe longer, maybe 3 years ago. That's when they bought the rights from Fox, I believe.
Yeah.
Maybe they just acquired them because they bought Fox. I don't know. Somehow they acquired, obviously, the rights to Aliens and Predator. They did all these cool covers. So they did a run of 3 or 4 months of Marvel heroes against Predator. There's some really cool ones. Like the Miles Morales one is super cool against Predator. And then they did a full run, multiple covers. There's probably 20 covers of the different heroes fighting the aliens. So once again, that's another thing to hunt down. They're really not that expensive to try to get all of them. And they're cool. Like I remember the Guardians of the Galaxy versus the Alien one is pretty cool. I have a bunch of them.
Yeah.
I don't have all of them, I don't think. But those are other fun ones that you could go hunt down. And the reason why I said that is, once again, when you have more time, but if you ever go to a comic convention, I always kind of create a list. So, it's fun to walk around, but there's so many boxes of comics, and, go through some of the boxes. And if you have a list of things you want, I mean, obviously if you go and try and find X-Men #1, there's going to be an X-Men #1 there. It's going to be, whatever, $10,000 or something crazy. Right. But I always try and go for these kind of more obscure things. you know, and you never know. Some guy in his box might have a full run of, you know, Aliens versus Predator, and he might sell them to you for $1 a shot.
Yeah, and you'd be like, yes, please, thank you very much. I'll take as many as you can possibly give me.
and for you, it's incredible. For the guy, he's just happy to have him get him off, to get him out of his boxes. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, for sure. So, are you looking forward to the new Aliens movie they've got in the works? Do you know anything about it?
No, I don't know. You know, who was the guy who did what was his name? He did the movie with aliens in South Africa.
Oh yeah, that's District 9. Yeah, it was Neil something.
He was supposed to do the Neil something. Yeah, he was supposed to Blum something or other. Blumkamp or something like that. He was supposed to do the next Aliens movie, I know. But yeah, no, tell us. You tell me. I don't know the specifics of it.
God, I mean, the last I heard is that it's supposed to be like, you know, it's supposed to be like a continuation from the second movie. So like, you know, they had like the last I saw was like a lot of concept pictures and stuff like that, but it basically had like Michael Byrne was going to come back as like, you know, Hicks, and his space was going to be like half melted from like, you know, the way he got hit by the acid like at the end of the second movie. Sigourney Weaver was supposedly going to come and reprise her role, but I'm just online right now trying to find the details for it, because I did see something floating around a little while ago.
They're going to have to de-age everybody so they're 30 years younger.
They can do it now, can't they? So like it seems to be getting like, you know, some pretty good success rates, especially like, you know, with what's it, Indiana Jones is just gone. Like that seems to work quite well.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if you're a Star Wars person, but in the Mandalorian season 2, the Ahsoka one, Michael Biehn showed up, and you know, he's much older, and obviously I hadn't seen him act in anything for, you know, 20 years or whatever.
I know. I actually didn't even recognize him at first. I was just like, "Is that Michael Biehn?" It's like, no way. It's like, oh, it is too, because it's sort of like in the credits and that. It's like, wow, he looks like a lot different.
Yeah, he did. He's definitely aged, but it was cool to see him.
So officially next week. So I'm just reading the little spin-off quick thing here. Seems like for Aliens 5. Yeah, it's done by Neil Blomkamp. He was supposed to be the guy directing it. It's been produced by. So I think it's officially my next film, Alien.
So we've got the posters. Do you think we'll get like full-on aliens, like the xenomorph and the egg and like all the stuff?
Oh my god, I hope so. Like I've been shouting it for the roof like for the last couple of months. Like, you know, I want to see aliens, like, you know, a proper xenomorph collectible, like, you know, drool hanging from its mouth, double jaw action, tail whipping, like, you know, the whole sound effects as well. Like, no, like, you know, that would just be, oh my god, like, shut up and take my money.
Yeah, I was gonna go nuts.
Yep. I'm just going to lose my mind. And then we're going to have the Predator. Then that's the same thing. It's going to have full animation, premium collectible. It's going to have wrist blade action, popping in and out, shoulder cannon, moving around, have the laser beam from the helmet, cloaking action.
And it can go invisible, because we already know they can do that. They did that with the Miles.
That is very true. So that tech is already there.
That'd be so cool.
I mean, even if it's an Alien versus Predator battle statue, I mean, like, I will still take that.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome too. Yeah, there's a lot of good. I mean, they're owned by Disney, and obviously we have Disney. It makes sense that we would get some Predator stuff and Alien
I know
stuff.
That's what I'm hanging out for. Like, no, the moment I saw the posters hit the app, I was just like, oh my god, it's happening! It's happening! It's like, it's posters. It's like, it's posters. And I know posters aren't overly popular, but it's happening.
I'm not sure how old you are, but did you see any of the Aliens, or Alien 1 or Alien 2 in the theater?
You know what? Funny enough, I actually did see Aliens 2 in the cinemas about 2 months ago, because my local cinema here actually showed it. But originally, no, because I'm 37, so it came out, was it 80? No, it was A6, A7, somewhere around there. So I think I was about 1 when it came out.
So I'm double your age. And
No, you can't tell, mate. Can't tell.
And I did not see the original one in the theater, but I saw the second one in the theater, and I was, a teenager, and dude, it was so freaking scary that it gave me a headache, and like I left, like I was like I was like in physical pain.
No way.
Yeah, the second one was so crazy, like one of my favorite movies of all time, but it was so scary.
Yeah, but Aliens is my second favorite movie of all time. Like, obviously Predator's my number one movie because that's what I grew up with. But yeah, I mean, like Aliens, like back in the day, like it was terrifying. Like you got like aliens like running around, like grabbing people, like running them into the rafters, like popping out the ceilings, like so it's like that scene, like where like they got the motion trackers going beep 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 beep, and like you're sitting in your seat going, where the hell are these things? They're just gonna pop out any second. And like when Hicks like goes up into the rafters with the little light, looks around there, they all like crawling after him, like shit.
I remember watching Predators on VHS, and I was terrified. I was like still in elementary, and that was scary.
No, yeah, that was my first like introduction to Predator as well. Because but growing up like in rural Western Australia, like my mum was a big Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, and we only had a handful of Schwarzenegger movies, and that was Predator, Conan the Barbarian, and Commando, and Terminator. And Predator, like was like my go-to movie, like when I was bored. So like I just watched that thing like for hours and hours on end. So I kind of fell in love with the whole franchise after that.
When Terminator 2 came out, we went to see it. I know, it was, you had to stand in lines, and it was all crazy back then. Because to see a movie, everybody went to see it, and so we went to see it, and then we continually snuck back in, and so we watched Terminator 2 like 3 times in a row.
Nice.
I remember. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
I love Terminator 2. That was one of my favorite movies back then, and I watched that so many times on VHS, so many times with my brothers.
Yeah, but it's brilliant. It's like when in the way of sequels, that is like the way sequels are supposed to be done. Like very very rarely do you have a sequel that surpasses the original.
Yeah, and the ones after were okay for me, but one is pretty good.
After 2, they should have just stopped. I mean, it's just sort of basically started getting a little bit off the rails after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in saying that, like the latest one was a Dark Fate. That wasn't too bad. I found that quite entertaining. And it was also good seeing Linda Hamilton coming back as Sarah Connor. I thought like she's looking pretty good for her age. She's still badass. Like she can definitely handle herself.
Yeah, she's still badass, and every time I look at her, I see her arm muscles. I'm like, man, she's pretty fit for like
she's killing it.
Her, yeah. And I don't think that's CGI, right? It's not any AI stuff.
No, I think it's all her. So, what about you, Sleepin? What are your thoughts on the latest Terminator movies? Oh, still there? I think we lost him.
Ooh, he doesn't like him.
No.
I don't know. No comment. Not bad, huh?
It's Skynet. Skynet's listening in, like it's just cut him off.
Yeah, they don't want to hear the bad reviews.
Oh, no, he's out. But that's all right. But I mean, so he might come back. But in the way of like the Terminator movies, I mean, like the first and second movie were by far like the best ones ever. Number 3 was okay. It started like to get like a little bit off the rails a little bit, and then what came after that? There was Terminator Salvation. That one was actually pretty good with Christian Bale and Sam Worthington.
Oh, okay. I had to go look.
Yeah, that one was really good. I actually thought that was like a really cool, like futuristic take on what was going on. And what came after that? Terminator Genesis. That was the one with Emilia Clarke and Jai Courtney. Like
Oh,
like the Daenerys Targaryen, the mother of dragons.
yeah.
Yeah, that was okay, different. So not great though. And
Yeah, that was.
yeah, there was Dark, and I think Dark Fate came after that.
Yeah. Honestly, like the movies in between, I don't even remember.
Yeah, I'm just trying to remember off the top of my head all of them now, like, because sometimes like it just sort of blurs together. But it did. The one thing I did like about Terminator Dark Fate is that it actually did pose a question: is that what does a Terminator do after he's completed his mission? Like, because obviously we know, like, from the second movie, there's a Terminator can't self-terminate because he can't off himself, and he can't go back, so he can't go back in time. So say he does fulfill his mission by offing John Connor, then what does he do? Does he just shut down and that's it, end of story? It's like, no, he has to integrate into human society and learns how to be a human.
Yeah.
And he becomes, what's it? Is it Carl, the guy who fits drapes?
I honestly don't even remember the names. So terrible.
All I remember is that scene, like, in the movie where he's like talking about, like, how he had a customer talking about drapes. He says, like, we had he was talking about putting like clouds in the girl's room. It's like, I said, don't do it.
Yeah, and his accent.
Gotta love Arnie.
Oh, he was in what is that one show? Wasn't he just in like a show?
He was.
Or a
He was in
series?
Fubar on Netflix. That was his first attempt at TV.
I haven't watched.
You haven't watched it? It's basically if you took True Lies and basically made a comedy series after it. Hey, he's back.
Okay.
You made it. We thought Skynet kicked you out as soon as we started talking about Terminator.
It's possible. It's gonna, and all this AI stuff, and then they're taking Chat GPT and hooking it up to the internet, and I think we're about 2 years away.
Yeah, we're just saying some scary stuff. But no, I was going to say, what's your view on the latest Terminator movies?
Oh yeah, they're all fun, but none of them are as good as the first two, I don't think.
No way.
And I think I've seen all of them. Yeah, I've seen all of them.
Yeah, we're just saying, like, the only ones I thought of actually quite good was Terminator Salvation, which is the one with Christian Bale and Sam Worthington. I thought that one was pretty good. And even Dark Fate, the latest one with Linda Hamilton coming back as Sarah Connor, I thought that one was quite entertaining as well.
All of them have cool scenes and have cool imagery, I think, and have cool ideas, but none of them, it doesn't work for a 3-hour movie.
No.
It certainly doesn't work. And part of those, which is, the problem with all of those big franchises is, they've kind of created this mythology. You've got to stay within that, but yet you also need to extend it so it's interesting. It's a challenge.
Yeah, well,
They faced it.
Yeah, go on.
They faced that with Star Wars too, right? You have to stay within the mythology, which is one of the reasons why I think the last 3 movies were such a failure. That might be too strong a word, but because they kind of did stay within the mythology, right? They broke all the rules, and and if you break some of those kind of core rules, I think it all falls apart, which is why it did fall apart.
Yeah. So you must be excited for the upcoming Ahsoka series then.
Super excited. Are you Rebels Ahsoka fan? Clone Wars fan?
I have watched the majority of the Clone Wars. There's still like little pockets and stuff that I have to catch up on, but I am secretly hoping that I don't have to watch too much of Rebels to sort of understand what's going on, because I haven't watched any of the Rebels series. I kind of like got knocked to the bottom of my to watch list because of life. But I mean, like, just
go Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Just you'll probably want to No, I'm serious. Go Wikipedia before you, or I'm sure there's some YouTube channel that's done like everything you need to know before Ahsoka, one of those YouTube channels.
Rebels in 10 seconds.
But I think it would be worthwhile. But Rebels is really good. Like, it's really, really good. Some of the best Star Wars that has really ever been created. because Clone Wars gets really repetitive and kind of boring. But Rebels is pretty. From it's only 4 seasons, I think. It's really, really good.
Yeah, right. Because I heard like that is definitely one of the better series. I mean, like I've watched like pockets of Clone Wars. I still haven't watched Bad Batch, so that was on my list of things to watch. But I've watched all of Book of Boba Fett, all of Mandalorian, and I watched all of Obi-Wan. So I ain't doing too bad, I guess.
No, you're doing great. I think Rebels is it's just the story is really good. And so one of the things that I was a little bit scared of, whatever, is animated. But because the story is so good and the characters are so good, it really is, some of the best Star Wars. I'm just trying, obviously you have the first series and one, and then the episode 1, 2, and 3, which they're okay. And then you have the Clone Wars, which is, it's so long. There's so many episodes. There's good ones in there and there's bad ones in there. But there's, overall, there's cool things that happen in Clone Wars. But I think of them all, Obi-Wan, all of them, Rebels is probably the best of all of them, really. I maybe Andor is better. But in terms of introducing new characters that are cool in the Star Wars universe and make sense, they did a really good job. And then you'll see those characters again. Well, not all of them, but you'll see those characters again in the Ahsoka show. Because really, the Ahsoka show looks like it's Rebels season 5.
Yeah, it seems like because we've got like the grand reintroduction of Thrawn, because like he seems like he's gearing up to be like the Thanos of like the Star Wars universe, because he's been like mentioned like in what's a Book of Boba Fett, in Mandalorian. So I'm assuming they're trying to do some kind of like Marvel Endgame thing with him being like the big core bad guy and trying interweaving all these different universes together.
Yeah, he's the bad guy of season 4.
Yep.
So I'll do some spoilers here.
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't. Well, I'll just because Rebels has been out.
Everyone cover your ears if you don't want to listen. So spoiler alert.
but basically, Thrawn is this like. So in basically the Empire is taking over, and they have these various bad guys running around, and Grand Moff Tarkin. Some of them are building the Death Star, but Thrawn is like this super smart general that they kind of like tell him, you got to go find these rebels and kill them all, or whatever. And so you get to see him in his strategy, and he's all about strategy and this and that. And he hunts them down, and he actually almost kills them all, and, whatever. But in the end, they escape. But in the end, basically, I don't want to say they trick him, but and there's other core pieces of it, like Mandalore is an element of it all.
Yep.
The Darksaber. So all these things that you've seen in The Mandalorian all are in Rebels. And but basically, trying to exactly remember it. There's a young Jedi that really, he's a really young kid, and he's barely learning the Force. But one of the people who is a Jedi who actually never finished his training either, he takes on this person. His name is Ezra, as his apprentice. And attempts to train him. But it's and one of the great things about the show is that, of course, it's kind of reflecting what happened again with kind of with what when they talk about what happened with Luke, how he was attempted to be trained by Obi-Wan, but then he died. So they switch over to Yoda, and his training isn't complete, and all sort of stuff happens. So it's kind of the same thing with this kid. Like, he's being trained by someone who was never really a master, and so all that other stuff. And then Darth Maul makes his appearance and tries to kind of like become his master, and so it's kind of this weird stuff. But in the end, basically, Ezra, because he can speak through the Force to these kind of big, huge, like weird looking alien whale things, he gets them to come and take over Thrawn's ship. But by taking the ship, those those kind of like these like big whale things, like basically teleport away, and they take Thrawn and Ezra with them, and then they're gone. You know, they teleport into space, whatever. They jump into light speed, and you don't know where they're gone. And so you don't know where Thrawn and Ezra go. Like, that's the end of the show. Like, so Thrawn and Ezra are somewhere off in the universe, and nobody knows where they went. That's the end of Rebels.
Yeah,
and
right.
so you can see that in this one, they're going to try and find him, what happened to him. So it's both what happened to Thrawn and what happened to Ezra.
Yeah, right. And that's probably like the core plot point of, like, you know, Ahsoka.
And then Sabine, who is a Mandalorian, she uses the Darksaber, and they're teaching her how to use it. I think I have this right. Maybe I can't remember. It's been so many years. And they're attempting to kind of train her as well. But I think that in the trailers for Ahsoka, she has a green lightsaber. And I actually think that's Ezra's lightsaber. Because, you know, he gets teleported away or whatever. He gets taken away. I think she's using his lightsaber. In the trailers. I don't think that's her. I think that's, I could be wrong, right? But I think that's his lightsaber. So it'll be interesting. Once again, what happened, and there's way more. Like, if you read the books, the whole area where Thrawn is from, it's very, very significant, because he's not from anywhere in the known, like, universe. He's from this, like, outer realms, and I mean, I'm giving away way too much, but if you read the book, Thrawn's background is very, very interesting and is not what you think. And and of course, his well, here you go. So his race, which is called the Chiss, are very interested and have been observing the Empire, and they're wondering if the Empire could potentially be an ally, because they are fighting their own battles in a different sector of the universe, right? So they send Thrawn to come to this area of the universe to evaluate the Empire, to see if they are a worthwhile ally. So they put him on this planet, and he's by himself, and then the Empire discovers him. After he's discovered, they find out that he's super, super smart, and obviously they enroll him into the Galactic Academy, and then he ends up becoming a general. So the comic that we have on VeVe, Thrawn #1, is when they discover him, the Empire finds him on this planet. They just think he's there, but they don't know that he's been put there by the Chiss Ascendancy, which is Thrawn's race, has put him there to, like, for him to kind of be like a mole and figure out what's going on with the Empire. So if you read that comic, so Thrawn, the comic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's 6 comics in that series, and that shows him when they literally find him, when he's got long hair. You can see on the cover, right? To him ascending through the ranks and becoming a Grand Admiral. So that it's really interesting, and he has to do all this stuff. Which there's 2 interesting parts of that. Number 1, the Empire, as you noted by all the movies, you have to be a human in order to be an officer. You cannot be an alien. So the only time they have ever broke that rule in the history of all the Empire is actually Grand Admiral Thrawn. But it's just because he's, like, so smart.
Yeah, right, because he's, like, proves himself with, like, his super intellect and his cunning.
Right. And even in the Chiss, the world of the Chiss, which is just other crazy, like, area of the world, of the galaxy, he's, like, the smartest guy there too. So it's like, it's not like, you know, everybody knows that he's, like, the smartest guy. But so the comics 1 through 6 cover this book called Thrawn. And it's basically just retelling that book. So if you go to Barnes and Nobles or whatever, or I don't know if you have Barnes and Nobles where you are, but if you buy Thrawn, read the book, it's the same as the comics 1 through 6. But then they came out with another book called Thrawn, I can't remember, something or other, and then they came out with another book. So it's actually formed a trilogy. And if you read all those books, it takes them from when the Empire finds him all the way up to where you see him appear in Rebels. So you get the entire first from the minute he joins the Empire all the way to like right at the end of the last trilogy. I think they tell him like go to this sector and deal with these rebels. That's like the end of the book, which that's where you see
Rebel steps in.
Rebel steps in because
right.
They're like they're calling in this like incredible like guy Admiral Thrawn to like deal with us or whatever.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because Rebels like we're causing so much mayhem. They're coming. They're chucking their biggest gun at us.
Right, and so, but it's like there's all kinds of interesting things like you find out like back even before he came to the Galactic Empire to be like basically like a mole. He when he was younger, he went on this mission for the Chiss Ascendancy, and they had him come to this planet, and on the planet. He partnered with his Jedi called Anakin Skywalker, and they had this like crazy mission together. Okay. So he met Anakin Skywalker long before he came to the Empire. Mm-hmm. And so he figures out, because later on he figures out Darth Vader. He figures out that Darth Vader is actually Anakin Skywalker, but he doesn't tell anybody.
No, okay. He could kind of keep that in his back pocket and maybe might use it against him.
Yeah, and then the Emperor, I think, knows. So he sends on a secret mission, this is like book 2. Mm-hmm. He sends only Darth Vader and Admiral Thrawn on this like secret mission to go do all this crazy stuff. Which that's an interesting book. You should read that book too. That's a fun book to read. Way too much Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, no, this is great.
I am a complete geek.
That's bad. That's what this space is all about. Like, nerding out, geeking out, and sharing it with other like-minded individuals. That's the whole reason. That's the whole reason why we do these spaces. That's why I love it.
That's awesome.
But I think they're gonna do flashbacks. They're gonna do it all. Like they're gonna go Thrawn crazy over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, right? Mm. Now they've got Hayden Christensen back. They're going to do flashbacks of Thrawn and Hayden Christensen. They're going to bring Natalie because Natalie Portman's in that, or Queen whatever Amidala is in that book. So they're going to bring her. I mean, they're going to go crazy with it. I
bet. Yeah, right. Ooh, lots of speculation. A lot of big things might be coming. Yeah. How do you think Hayden Christensen did coming back for Obi-Wan? Do you reckon he's still got it in him?
Oh yeah, I thought it looked great. And he's not that old, I don't think. And he seemed to, obviously again de-age him. They must in the big scene against him with him and Obi-Wan. They de-aged him.
Yeah,
and it's probably fun for him to be in the Darth Vader suit, but obviously he wants to act some too.
Yeah, of course.
And that's why I literally believe they're going to do these scenes with him and Thrawn because he's Anakin.
Yeah. Nice one. Thanks, D. Yeah, I mean, it's just in the way, in that scene, I was actually reading that they didn't actually de-age him that much because it was like they wanted to try and do more de-aging through makeup and hair and all like the traditional sort of stuff because they wanted to try and keep it as natural looking as possible. But yeah, I mean, I reckon it worked, and I reckon Vader was a complete beast in that series.
Yeah, he was. They made him pretty evil.
Oh yeah, especially when he busts in to the hangar bay and the ship's about to take off, and he literally just kicks in the door and just grabs the starship with his hand, and just the thing's struggling to take off. You can clearly see he's that much, he's in tune that much with the Force that this he doesn't need a lightsaber to mess you up. He can just wave his hand and you're basically screwed.
Yeah, no, that was good. It's do you ever play the video game? What is it called? Force Unleashed. Do you ever heard of that game?
Yeah. I know. Fortunately, I haven't played it completely. I played the first bit because my brother's was really heavily into it and he didn't want to share. But I remember that there is a scene in that game where basically you're playing as Starkiller. His name is
Yeah. And Starkiller can do that stuff too, where you can grab ships with the Force and everything like that. Crazy
isn't there a
stuff.
scene? Isn't there a scene in that game where he's basically like pulling like a star, was it a star destroyer basically like from the sky, like and just basically crashing into the ground?
Yeah. Starkiller supposedly is more powerful than the Force and Vader or anybody, like one of the strongest, whatever.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've only played like a handful of like the Star Wars games. I mean, but I've played like the earlier stuff, like like the Shadows of the Empire on Nintendo 64. That was like my jam back in the day, and also like the Star Wars games on Super Nintendo. God, I'm showing my age now. But one that I am actually on the subject of games and Star Wars, one game I am looking forward to, and it looks really good, is that new one. Is it Outlaws? Have you seen like some of the gameplay trailers for that?
No, I haven't. I've been working a lot, and
mate, look it up. It's basically they use the Unreal 5 engine and all the latest stuff, and you basically go like from like running around like on Tatooine, and you can go like on a speeder, and it's the way they're doing it is like they're doing it like seamless transitions. So let's say you're on the planet, you're about to jump in a starship, and in like your traditional game, like it would be like jumping your starship, there'd be like a loading screen, and then like it would be like you're in space. But now they're doing it all like it's like one seamless transaction. So you would basically jump in your starship, you take off, fly, go through the clouds, and then you'd see the stars, and all of a sudden you're in space, and the whole lot just looks amazing. Yeah, anyone out there, I encourage you, look it up on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it's Star Wars Outlaws. I'll actually have a look myself, make sure I'm saying this correctly. But yeah,
no, that sounds amazing. Have you ever played the game No Man's Sky?
No, I haven't, but I do know of it. Looks really good.
Yeah, that's similar. Where there's like no loading screens, you go all over the place, and it's like you can leave a planet and land on a planet, and they're whoever wrote that. Yeah, that's a pretty amazing video game. Really fun video game.
Yeah, there's actually another one that's just come out recently. It's something almost similar like that as well. I can't remember the name of it though. I think it's a new one by Bethesda, the group that basically did Fallout 4 and Skyrim. What's it called? It starts with S.
Oh yeah, Starfield or something like that.
Starfield, that's the one. Yeah, I mean that looks like the same sort of thing.
I don't know how you beat No Man's Sky though. That game is like amazing.
Yeah, it's basically like from what I've read about it, it's basically like never ending. Like it's everything like you do, like you can literally just keep going for like forever.
Yeah, and now if they add AI to it, you probably could go on forever.
Yeah, you probably could. I mean, like you see some of the stuff like they've got coming out with AI now, like the NPCs, like actually talking to you and having like proper conversations and interacting with you, calling you by name. Some crazy stuff. Actually, one that my brother back in Australia is playing at the moment is Baldur's Gate 3, and apparently that game is just like unbelievable. Like the amount of freedom you have in it is just like ridiculous.
Yeah, so, they just keep pushing the tech, and obviously VeVe is going to be, going to be able to take advantage of a lot of that. So we'll see, what happens. What do you think about all this, the kind of conversation around the VeVeverse and whatnot?
It sounds. I mean, everything I've heard about the VeVeverse so far sounds really positive. I've heard nothing but good things coming from everybody. I know the likes of Fro, Tails and Rizzo, Mr. Falcon, like all the Vault builders are all praising it to the heavens. So that is good. I mean, I haven't really heard much in the way of negative stuff, which is kind of a bit unusual. But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I'm definitely want to try and get my hands on it. Like my biggest thing about the VeVeverse, and sounds like it will be like this, is that as long as it's easy to use, like for someone who has no experience, like in vault building or any type of building tech or anything like that, as long as it's easy to pick up, I reckon it's going to do very well, and it's just going to open so many new doors and so many new opportunities for people, like new jobs. Apparently, like vault building is going to be a big thing. Apparently, that's already like a job description. What about you? What's your take on it?
Same. I'm game for anything. I'm excited about it.
Yeah. What about you, D? What's your take on it?
Oh, yeah, I think it's exciting. Can't wait to go in and build with my few collectibles. But I think it'll be more interesting to see what other people's spaces looks like. That's what I want to see.
So what about you, Sleeping? What's your VeVe space gonna look like? When I go over to sleeping in comic space, what am I gonna find? Obviously tons of comic books.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, throw all the mighties in one room or whatever, or throw, and I do have some collectibles that I do like, but yeah, it'll be very interesting. I'm not sure. I'm sure I'll do that. I'll have room, and I'll have all my Spider-Man in there, or all my I think that's kind of natural. But then what after that, right? There'll be something, and I think it's exciting to be creative, and we already can see people be super creative with the vaults that we have. I think everybody will just be able to push the envelope on that, and so we'll see what happens. It's yeah, I'm excited to get in there and goof around in it. It sounds great.
Yeah, same. That's gonna be great. I'm hanging out for when they announce that you can hang up the comic books in the showroom. So I know I'm gonna have all my ultra rare comics all over the walls.
Yeah,
blow them up nice and big. So you can be like immersed in them. You like standing in like the comic and you can just like read it all like panel for panel. Would be like amazing.
Yeah, so just a couple of things that I would say, I hope, once again, because there were saying some stuff initially that I wasn't sure if you're going to do this. Like way back when they were saying like you could only show the cover, which is fine. That's a good start. And then they were saying like they would only show in these cabinets or something. This is way back. This is like 2 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've changed a lot, I think. So I think a couple of things that I would say is, number one, you should be able to blow them up as big as you want, because it's the same thing. Like these covers are so amazing. We all know, like if you even take like a quarter of some of these covers and were to blow it up, there's amazing stuff in different parts of these covers that you could make.
Yeah, definitely
incredible backgrounds. So I think that's important to be able to blow it up. The other thing I think is you have to be able to open it up, because as you know, if you've read any of the comics, the interior art is simply amazing.
Yeah,
in fact,
definitely.
A lot of the interior art sometimes is better than the covers. A lot of times. And I can think a bunch of the covers, a bunch of the comics, and I've read most of the comics that we have on the app. So, and I can think of just different panels that are just amazing, right? That'll knock your socks off. That would be fun to use as a poster or on your wall or whatever it might be. And so I hope you can open it up to any page you want and blow that up and then have that and use that somehow as you see fit in your house.
Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, like, cause like some of the comics, like for example, like what's got some good like interior artwork to it. Like the first one that springs to my mind is like something like the Marvel Zombies. I mean, like they've got some good interior art in some of them. Old Man Logan, that's got some good ones as well.
Yeah. I could think of so many. I mean, and any of them have incredible art. So you could open up any of these books, to, literally to any page, and probably grab a panel that you like. And that it's not that we don't want, you can do whatever you want, but I think now the level of diversity of what you're going to see on people's walls is exponentially larger, because we're getting more comics. And of course, each comic has, whatever X amount of pages. So
yeah,
that's something I think that that they should allow, and maybe they don't in the beginning, but I think in the end, that's what we should be able to do.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, this has been great. This has been like fantastic. We have an excellent conversation about comics, about film, say Terminator, Predator, Aliens. I'm loving it. Loving the diversity of this space. So you never know who's going to drop in and drop some alpha. So thanks. I just want to say thank you to Sleeping for taking the time out of your day to come and join us in the space. Much appreciated. And I just want to do a quick shout out to everyone who's still here listening with us. So I'll just go with a couple of names. Hinano Evolves is still here. Chris Reyes, thanks for jumping in. Casual, still with us. Fried Labbits, Giordio, Benny Beats, Double Quill, Omar, Osture, Doobies, and the list just keeps going on and on and on. I just want to thank everybody for taking the time out of the day to join us, because this is WebV Weekend, so episode 4. So brought to you by the WebV Collective. And some people ask me, like, what is the WebV Collective? What do I keep saying we're hosted by the WebV Collective? Because basically the WebV Collective is basically a group of us collectors that sort of came together, and we decided we wanted to create like a space where we could share our love of collecting and fandom and just all things Marvel, DC, comics, film. And yeah, we created the WebV Collective, and that's where the idea of doing these spaces came from. And yeah, if anybody's interested in the WebV Collective, wants to know more about what we do have a Discord as well. And if you want to get more involved with what's going on in that, you can always send us a DM, or myself, or Dee, or Hinano. So they're all part of the WebV Collective as well. And yeah, we're more than happy to have more members with us. Especially just a space where we share our collections, share our love of comics, film. We even have things about some other random things as well, like food, travel, jokes, say cars, all sorts of bits and bobs. So yeah, just want to quickly throw that out there, and yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in. Just want to throw it in there. But yeah, what else has been happening in the world? What about some of the controversy happening? Oh yeah, sorry, G.
Oh, hi. I'm going a little bit off topic. But I just wanted to kind of let you guys know Hinano and I are gonna be attempting to do some live streams on Fridays for Happy Aloha Fridays as a thing now. We're gonna
Excellent.
Yeah, we're not sure what time, but on Fridays we'll post a time when we're gonna do it. And if anyone wants to come up and watch us make a fool of ourselves, come up and hang out with us.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yes, we can all look like fools together.
That's it. We'll look like fools together. Love it. And that is with the and that's
the live is so difficult. I think I find the live streaming really, really hard.
Oh, it's great. It's fun. I myself am just getting the hang of it as well, because I'm not sure if you've seen or not. I've actually making my attempt at doing basically all audible versions of reading comic books.
Yeah, I pinned it up to the thing earlier.
Yeah, I saw that. So yeah, if anyone wants to check that out, it's on the WebV Collective's YouTube channel. It's called Relax and Read with Ozman Collects. And we the last one I did was the Uncanny X-Men number 221, which is the first appearance of Mr. Sinister. And I was quite surprised, really, because Mr. Sinister is like only in it for like 4 pages, and then the rest of it just sort of spins off about Rogue and Dazzler.
Yeah, he got bedazzled.
Mm.
But speaking on live stream, I thought you did a great job last time, Sleepin'. You know, when you were doing your auction, that was, yeah, I think you did a great job.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's just weird because, like, you know you're on camera, which is a little bit intimidating, and then you like just got to keep going, and like if you pause and do like don't do anything, like it's gonna look weird. You know what I mean? Like it I don't know. That's maybe it's just the in the back of your mind, you know that you have to keep speaking. You have to keep going.
That's it. You don't want too much dead space, otherwise it gets weird. You need like some like background music or something, like some chilled, like relaxed chill out music. That way, if you sort of stop, everyone can just listen to the music and give you a chance to breathe. At least that's what I'm experimenting with.
The other thing is, of course, that like if you watch someone like Randy that does it like every night.
God, that guy's a legend. Yeah, I know. I'm the same.
Goes for like 3 hours, and number two, like it looks so easy.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, the guy just like he's a machine. I mean, like especially when he did like that last live stream, like was it the one that went like for 48 hours or 72, something ridiculous?
Yeah, I don't know that. That's just unreal.
I know. Just like I tip my hat to him. Respect.
I think we just got to keep doing more of it to get more
Yeah.
comfortable. But if we look weird, that's I think most of it is like us being self conscious about our own selves.
Yeah.
But I mean, if we just like mess up along the way, at least we're being organic about it. We're not like faking it, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's fun. Like, who cares if you mess up? Like, it's all part of the fun, all part of the experience. But yeah.
Sorry.
Also, as well,
Go ahead.
that's what I was just going to throw it out there as well. Like, and anyone who is listening out there and wants to come up and say hi and wants to contribute anything to the conversation, please do so. It's a safe space, and we appreciate all everyone's point of view and anything anybody wants to throw into the conversation and sort of mixes up, makes it interesting. So that offer is always there. But as always, if you just want to chill and listen in the background, that's also cool as well. But yeah, but yeah, sorry, go on, Dee.
No, I was gonna. Oh, Hinano's gonna come up, but
here we go.
You were about to say something, then I cut you off earlier.
Oh no, I was just going to say, we've had a lot of controversy in the Web3 space lately, with scams and hacks and all sorts of bits and pieces going. That was going to be my next topic of discussion. But Hinano, how are you, bro?
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me up. Sorry I didn't jump in earlier. I've been editing video this morning. But then I heard my wife on Spaces. Hey, I know you.
Hi, how you doing?
What's happening, guys? What's up, Sleepin? And everyone else in the space down below. How's everyone doing?
Yeah. Going good, mate. So Sleeper's just dropping some major alpha, like some major Star Wars alpha for us.
Yeah, I know. I gotta go watch one of those Wikipedia videos or those like 10-minute YouTube videos about Rebels and all that. I have not been keeping up. I mean, I'm the Star Trek guy here, so.
I was just thinking I might have to go pick myself up a Thrawn comic. I was just saying, what is the common going for in the market at the moment? Right now, the common of Thrawn #1 is going for 2 gems and 25 frags. So very affordable.
It's a steal.
It's a steal. So pick them up while you can.
Full disclosure.
Also, what do you think of it? Yep. Yeah,
you go.
Go on. Yeah, go on, Yanni. Full disclosure, the floor is yours.
Oh, I was gonna probably say the same thing as Sleeping, but full disclosure, I've been buying those Thrawn commons under 2 gems initially when they first came out.
Nice.
So, yeah, I got a nice stack, and then I also got the secret rare.
Very nice. Yeah, me, I got nothing, so I should probably get at least one. Cool,
yeah,
cool.
I went bought an uncommon, I believe, either a common or uncommon. One of those. Haven't read it yet. But Sleepin', I wanted to say, I am not, and I'm gonna probably get a lot of boos. I'm not a big Star Wars person, and I get lost in trying to understand all the different stuff about it. Got a thumbs down. Thanks, Hinano.
Something for that.
But the way that you were explaining earlier, it was like I was able to understand and like try to keep up. So maybe you should have like a video on that, explaining like the backgrounds of stuff and backstories.
Yeah, that's good.
It was really nice.
Yeah, that's the next video, mate.
I actually have a Thrawn video. Like, it's probably 4 years old that I made that's still relevant. And I can try and find it. I'll send it to you guys or DM you guys. I have one that is more talking about. Oh, I have 2. I think I have 2 if I recall. One is just like talking about the comics. So once again, this is so long ago, 3-4 years ago, where I was like telling people you should go buy the Thrawn comics because they're going to be worth a bunch. this is way before VeVe, of course, and so that's a good one. And then I did do a video where I discuss a lot of the stuff we just discussed, but in way more depth. So you probably will fall asleep during it. But so yeah, so it's a lot of the stuff that I discussed here, I have in that video. So I can I'll DM you guys that. Those are fun videos to watch.
Cool.
And then and it's just, it was any of whatever. It's just like, trying to, get into Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings or any of these other stuff.
Yeah.
Or, comic books in general. I always tell people, kind of talk to some people and just kind of jump on. And if you like it, you like it. And if you don't, you don't. But, the Ahsoka series, I bet you will be a pretty good jumping on point. You'll want to know a couple key pieces about her, but I bet you it's, it might be a fun one if you're not a Star Wars person to just kind of jump on and go forward. Because I do feel like, and if you've watched a lot of things, that they are attempting to kind of reset the entire Star Wars universe. And I think Ahsoka is going to be a big player in that. She's going to be kind of, I'm speculating here, but she's going to kind of be like the Yoda of this next big push for Star Wars, I think. She's going to be kind of the elder stateswoman that kind of knows things and can remember all the way it used to be and all the kind of flaws that they did before.
Oh, interesting.
Because the two things about Ahsoka that you may or may not know, but so Anakin, who becomes Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker, his Padawan or his apprentice was Ahsoka.
That's right. Yep.
So that's the kind of big, kind of crazy thing. And so obviously Anakin goes bad and becomes Darth Vader. And then in Rebels, they meet up, obviously, and she knows this is her old master. And then he kills her. So it's like crazy. So then you're like, well, if he kills her, how can she be in this show? It's because another odd thing happens in Rebels that, I do think they're going to bring back. So they find this like old ancient like Jedi temple, and they go into it. And Ezra, who's this kind of younger Jedi, goes into this temple, and it's weird. The temple inside of it is like in between time, and you go to these different portals, and you can see that portion of time. And so he goes into that portal, he's walking around. There's all these hallways. He goes to this one area, looks through the portal, and he can see Darth Vader and Ahsoka fighting. And right before Darth Vader is going to kill her, he kind of freaks out, reaches through the portal, and pulls Ahsoka through the portal. So Darth Vader actually never kills Ahsoka.
Whoa. Miraculously survives.
So then a bunch of stuff happens, and kind of the Jedi temple like collapses on itself. I'm skipping around a little bit. But then Ahsoka runs off, and you never see her. I don't think you ever see her again in the entire show. Oh, wait until the very end. But so in a weird way, she got a second chance, and they changed history because, they had it planned, whatever. Ezra changed history because she kind of was killed by Darth Vader. I think she was supposed to be killed by Darth Vader. And that's kind of a weird and cool, not cool, but it's a weird thing that, Darth Vader ends up killing his own apprentice. It's kind of crazy, anyways. So she's kind of haunted by that because obviously she spent all those years together with Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
And that's the big line in Mandalorian when Mandalorian with Grogu meets Ahsoka for the first time, and he's like, and Mandalorian says, "You need to train him. He's got clearly very powerful skills in the Force." And she's like, I've seen people that are not fully trained or half trained in the Force, what they can become if they're not properly trained.
Yeah.
Basically, she's implying that Anakin was not properly trained and the guy went bad, and then look what happened.
Yeah.
So that's why she refuses to train Grogu in that episode. And then obviously Luke Skywalker shows up and all the other stuff. But so I think that's an important element of. So I talked a lot there, but the two important pieces to know about Ahsoka is that her master was Anakin Skywalker. Oh, here's another element. So she was a Jedi, just like Anakin, just like everybody. And all this weird stuff happens in Clone Wars, and she opts to leave the Jedi Order.
Yep.
So she decides. So that's an important element. She never becomes a Jedi, I don't think, and she leaves the Jedi Order. So That's why her lightsabers are white, for example. They're not green. They're not, blue. Her
like
lightsabers
neutral.
yes. And so, and so anyway, so Ahsoka's like an interesting character in that she kind of hits all these different, and this is why a lot of people like her as a character, is because she hits all these kind of interesting heartbeats where she, obviously used to be Anakin's Padawan. She left the Jedi Order. So there's all these interesting things. The other thing about Ahsoka you should know is that when she was first introduced in Clone Wars, the very first episode of Clone Wars, she's super, super young and bratty. And for the first 2 seasons of Clone Wars, you were so annoyed by her, you kind of wish Anakin would just take his lightsaber and kill her. And
That's it.
And at the time when she came out, everybody hated her so much. Everybody hated her. They're just like, could you please just not have her in any more episodes? The hatred for Ahsoka was real. And so it's interesting to watch her character arc where she's gone from literally the fans hating her to now, everybody's so excited for her show. It's amazing.
Yeah, being like the new age Yoda. No, I love it. So just thinking, just how you were saying, about her there being in the temple, and then he pulls her through the portal, and basically, negates that little bit of history. Is so does that technically make her a variant?
It's weird because that's a weird game of it all.
Yeah,
I don't know. And Star Wars before that time had no concept of time travel. That's not something we'd ever seen in this universe. And there's no concept of changing time. But a lot of people speculate, because the last 3 movies, people just hated so badly, that they will use that same Jedi temple to change the timeline to undo those movies, because people hate those movies so much. So I don't know. But I will say this, is in the trailer for Ahsoka, they're standing in this area where she fights those 2. I don't know what they are. They look like Sith, but they're not Sith. That area literally looks exactly like the area that Empire's excavating, and where you would go into that temple. There's these weird lights and other things like they had in the show. So you wonder if they are near that temple when they have that fight in the trailer. All speculation, right?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, it kind of makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, Marvel's doing it with the multiverse, DC's now doing it, with the basically what the Flash is doing. So yeah, why not Star Wars do it? Why don't they jump on board and start rewriting things as well? Yeah, cool. I like it. It sounds like lots of interesting things maybe potentially happening. So yeah, I think that's actually not coming. That's not too far off too. I think it's due to air on the 23rd, I believe.
Yeah, a couple of days.
Yeah, so actually, it's a couple of days. Bloody hell! It's actually it's next Wednesday. Way there you go.
So another one that you could try to look for in the real life, which is basically really hard to find, is Clone Wars 1, which is the first appearance of Ahsoka, that comic. And I bet you, I would think we will probably get that comic here on VeVe, which will be a good comic to have. And so 2 other notes. So the comic in the real world is worth quite a bit of, not crazy amounts of money, but thousands of dollars.
Enough.
But there is a variant, a very rare variant cover of it that was drawn by Dave Filoni. Only reason I say that is Dave Filoni is the guy who is the director and producer of almost all the Star Wars stuff now. Yeah,
I've seen his name over everything.
So he did the cover of this one. It's a very rare one, and a 9.8 of it is I think is $7,000 or something like that.
Okay.
So you wonder if we get that comic and we get that as the secret rare. I do believe that secret rare will be worth quite a bit of money, because it will be the first appearance of Ahsoka, and it will be that crazy Dave Filoni cover. So I think that one will be worth quite a bit.
Now I have to look. Yeah, going to have to look that cover up.
You said Clone Wars 1, yeah?
Yes, and I actually found the comic at a comic store, and the guy gave me a great deal on it. I paid cash for it, and he knew what it was, so he wasn't going to give it to me for $5, right?
Yeah.
But I think I got it for $800 or something like that, which was a good price at the time.
Is that on your?
Nice.
It's not the Dave Filoni version. It's just a normal cover.
I think Dee was going to ask if you got that one on your wall.
I sometimes do, not right now. I should get it out though, because Ahsoka's gonna be the show's gonna be starting. So yeah, I'll definitely get it out and throw it up on the wall. The craziest one, and a lot of people know the story, is I went to this shop. This is once again years ago, and I got Fantastic Four 49, which is the first appearance of Galactus, and it's a very iconic cover.
Ooh, nice.
And everybody knows that comic. Everybody knows it's the first appearance of Galactus. You'll never sneak it by somebody and be like, oh, get it for. But the comic was in pretty bad shape, and I found it, and I asked the owner of this place. I said, do you want to sell it? And he's like, oh, sure. And this owner of this comic store hates the internet, so he uses these old books to look up the value of the comics, like a book that's like, I don't even know when that book might have came out 10 years ago or something like that, 20 years ago.
Right.
Ooh,
And so he looked up the value of the comic, and it was $150. And I told him I'd give him $125, which he accepted. And so I got that comic for $125, and it's like, thousands of dollar comics. So that's my best.
You're thinking score.
Yeah. That was my best score from a dollar's perspective.
Wow.
Oh well, his loss, your gain.
Yeah, he's probably kicking himself now. Like now he's probably finally bit the bullet and gone onto the internet and just gone, oh, I can't believe I let it go.
No, he hates the internet. I don't think he did.
No.
I still doesn't know. But that was kind of the one you would go there, and every now and then, like he had what did he have? He had, he would have some crazy, like he had Amazing Spider-Man 50, which we have on the app. That's the first appearance of Kingpin, and I think he had it for like $500 or something like that, and it was worth way, way more. And I thought about it. I just didn't have the money at the time. But I came back and somewhere I bought it because it was not going to last. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. I bet you someone's going to clue on and just I have to swoop in and get this thing while it's there for the picking.
I mean, he probably has these comics from so many years ago that he actually made, who's making $500 on it or something like that. So he was happy, and the person buying was happy. I always look at it as everybody's happy. There's, that's good.
Yeah, well, that's it. So if he's happy, he got rid of it for what he wanted, and you picked it up for what you wanted, then yeah, everything's all good in the world.
The other thing about that comic shop that I always liked, and once again, the guy was older, and he he always had this box of comics that if you were younger than 12, you could just take one for free.
Oh, nice.
And he's just trying to, so kids would come, and they would, come with their parents. Obviously, their parents would probably buy a comic or two, and then they would always get a free comic. So I always liked that about that comic store too.
Yeah, so
that's a way to get the kids involved and get them reading too.
Yeah, so
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's great. Like I said, my two kids is I got one that's 4.5 and one that's 2.5, and the only time I ever attempt to take him to a comic book shop now is when they have free comic book day, because every time I buy him a comic book, he'll basically look at it, and either he'll not be interested in it, or his little sister will get hold of it and tear it up. That's why I like digital copies, because you can't destroy them. But yeah, I mean, great incentives like that. I mean, good to sort of introduce younger readers to comic books, or to their new favorite characters. Yeah, I really like that. Cool.
That's what I want to do in the VeVe is give away comics. I wish they'd bring transfers back.
Yeah, well, maybe they will eventually. Oh, Hinano's got his hand up. So, what you got, bro?
I heard we were giving away comics, so I just want to let everyone know that our YouTube channel went over 100 followers, so now we're at 208. So we're gonna give away some comics to everyone soon. And I just kind of want to let Sleepin know what we're giving away because I heard he didn't have this one. So we're gonna give away Spider-Man 7, which is the first appearance of Spider-Boy. Wonder Woman 800, which is the first appearance of Trinity.
Nice.
Star Wars 34, which I think is the first appearance of Greta and Dr. Quata. And Spider-Man India 1. So we will announce that on X in the next coming days. And that is for, unfortunately, the US and Canada only. Now, for the people overseas, we're going to do another giveaway where we're going to give away 3 NFTs. One NFT is going to be a drop head. The other NFT is going to be a Starboy from the Superstars. And the third will be a Kid Arcade Light Parade. So that'll go for the people overseas. Sorry, guys, I'm not rich and I can't mail overseas yet. And we're not monetized yet. But that's going to come out real soon for everybody in the community. Another thing, too, is I got to run, guys. I got to go edit some more videos. So thanks for having me on, and I'll talk to you guys later.
I should run, too.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, no, I have to start wrapping up this space soon as well. But yeah, thank you so much, Sleepin, for dropping in and dropping all the alpha. Dee's got something you want to add?
I just want to clarify. So the comic giveaway is for everyone to participate, but not everyone will get a comic. I just want to specify that.
Temper everyone's expectations.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
There we go. Yeah, no, as I was saying, yeah, no, Sleepin, thank you so much for taking the time to drop in and share all the alpha, the Star Wars alpha with us. I'm sure we've all learned a lot today about Thrawn, about Ahsoka. And yeah, that's a nice one. Thank you, Dee. But yeah, and if anybody needs to re-listen, say this space is recorded, so we can always play back and listen in if we forget anything, because there was a lot to unpack there. But yeah, no, thank you so much, Sleepin. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate all that you do for the community as well.
Oh, thanks for having me up. Always good. I try to stop in here. A lot of times I'm just doing work and other things, but today I had a little extra time, so it's fun to talk to you guys. I don't get to talk to everybody enough, so hopefully my job will calm down a little bit, and then I'll be able to do some more videos and spend more time in spaces and do it. Just talk to people more.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully, not working too hard or not under too much stress.
Yeah, thanks, Sleepin, for coming up and sharing with us. Yeah, and just shoot us the DM of those 2 videos when you get a chance.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I'll do it now. Else I'm gonna forget. I gotta go find them.
Thanks, man.
All right, nice one. Yeah, thanks, Sleepin. Thanks again, everybody. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, mate. Well, I've got about 10 minutes or so before I gotta start wrapping this space up, because it is coming up to 10:30 at night here in the UK. So yeah, in this last 10 minutes, I'm just going to open the floor up to anybody who might want to come up, say hi, say just can contribute anything to the conversation. And yeah, just like I said before, it's a safe space. We appreciate everyone's opinion, everyone's point of view. We actually welcome it, because it always makes our conversations a little bit more juicy or a little bit more interesting. But like I said before, if you just want to listen in the background, that's cool too. And yeah, Dee, was there anything else you wanted to talk or brush over before we move on to something else?
No, thanks for having the space. Thanks for inviting me to come up. Thanks to all the people that tuned in to listen on Sunday or Monday, wherever you are.
Yeah, wherever you might be. Yeah, I want to say big thank you to everybody listening in. So we've got Mr. MC1. So thank you for taking the time to listen in. Much appreciated. Say Fro. So thanks for dropping in, mate. Hope you're feeling better, because you've been a bit under the weather. Chris Reyes, Casual, Benny Beats, Double Quill. Thanks for dropping in. Always a pleasure. Omar Doobies. Say Bill's Black. Oh my Bob. I like that. And the C, I'm sorry, some of these I do struggle with saying, but I do appreciate everybody taking the time to listen into our space. I really do. It's you, the listeners, who make these spaces what they are. and they wouldn't be what they are without you.
Yeah, as a side note, and follow each other, support each other. Speaking of supporting each other, I believe Double Quill has a new blog. I have
Yes.
not
Yep.
read it yet. But yeah, go follow her, read her. She has really good stories.
Yep.
Who else in this space?
Yeah.
Whoever has a channel, go and follow them, support them.
That's it.
Yeah.
I do have a little list of people we can acknowledge and support. Like I said, this is WebV Weekends, episode 4, so brought to you by the WebV Collective. Like I said before, we are basically just a group of collectives who came together to form our little group, where we just wanted to create a safe space for other collectors to come and share their love of Marvel, DC, fandom, say film, just have a place to geek out where you might struggle, like, you know, out in the real world, and just need somewhere to come and vent or come and just be with other like-minded individuals. And so yeah, that's the whole reason why we created these spaces, is to give everyone an opportunity to sort of connect with others, is what it's all about. But I just want to give a shout out to some of our members. We've got now I have to say this very, very slowly because sometimes I struggle. Is it the Real Uncommon Podcast? And also I messed it up once and got a big slap around the head from D. We also got my collectibles, K Collections, Evolved Collects, VeVe Investments, Double Quill, and Chris Severs Go Collect blog. Always great reads. VeVe Arcade goes to show every Sunday. Make sure you tune in and get involved with that. We also got Dr. Strange with All Things Strange with his Stack and Slack videos. We got the biggest bro who's just started his own little venture into live stream with the bare minimum. And I'll even do a big shout out to Devin Rach from the Open Minds Collective, who occasionally drops in from time to time. And I'm hoping I haven't missed anybody because I think I've got everyone. My collectibles. Yep. And if I have missed anybody, I do apologize. But yeah, just want to and like Dee said, like and follow everybody. Let's support everybody in the space, and let's just enjoy this journey, which is digital collecting, and whether that be VeVe, whether that be Palm, whether that be any other platform you might be collecting on. I don't want to say recur because that's a bit of a sore subject at the moment. But yeah. But like I said, I appreciate everybody. Thank you everybody for taking the time to listen in. Yeah, I think I might start wrapping this up now because it's getting late, and I'm sure everyone else has got other things to do to enjoy the rest of their Sunday, and I need to get some sleep. But yeah, was there anybody who did want to come up and say hi or say a few words? Say, I'll open the floor up now.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Nope, that's all good. So I just appreciate you taking a bit of time out of your day to listen to us. And I hope you enjoyed the content, and I hope you enjoyed all the Star Wars Alpha that Sleepin was dropping. It's been a really fun episode. So I've had a lot of fun. Dee, have you had fun?
Yeah, I always have fun. And I see Nas just slid in real quick.
Hey, there's Nas. So,
Were you Nas? Were you taking a little nap?
That's it. Yeah, no, we're just wrapping things up, Nas. But thanks for taking the time to jump in. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Osman.
All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. So this has been WebV Wednesdays. No, that's the other show. WebV Weekends, episode 4. Catch me again for WebV Wednesdays, which will be on which is every Wednesday from 8 till 10 Pacific Standard Time. And also check out my own little side show, my own little side project, which is Relax and Read, where I'm basically doing trying to attempt to do live readings of some of the comic books that we've got on VeVe. And yeah, I'm gonna have another crack at it this coming Friday. So stay tuned for that, and they'll be on the X Spaces. And yeah, that's it for me. Big thank you to Dee for helping me co-host this space. Big thank you to everybody who's listened in or spoken with us this evening. And yeah, Dee, is there anything else you want to add before we jump out?
Nope, all good, man. Go get some sleep. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday and have a good one.
Peace.
All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.